So currently I'm really interested in this question of shared stewardship between states, the federal government, and tribes. So I've written on everything from energy development in Indian country towards more traditional pollution regulation through various vehicles. And it's becoming clear that these type of environmental problems, because they are cross-boundary, pollution doesn't stay just within a state or just within the tribe. And so as a result, kind of focusing on just tribal solutions wasn't giving me the full resolution that I was hoping to have. And so I'm starting to look at other avenues where tribes can participate and fully be involved in solutions, because tribes have tremendous traditional ecological knowledge, but maybe aren't the sole sovereign involved in the matter. Certainly states and the federal government can welcome tribes into whatever project they may be working on. And then there are also more formal mechanisms such as 638 contracts, which allow for tribes to contract to take over certain federal responsibilities. And that includes everything from forest lands to national parks to other areas of federal involvement. And what I think is really interesting about whether it's shared stewardship or these 638 contracts is this idea that tribes can sometimes do more with less. They have a demonstrated success rate in solving various environmental problems, but also in managing federal areas. So one example that's near and dear to my heart is here in Salt Lake City and in Utah, which is the Great Salt Lake. And as we know, the Great Salt Lake is imperiled because of drought and because of loss of water. And one of the things that really interests me is what traditional ecological knowledge tribes may have to help address the current perils facing the Great Salt Lake. So tribes within the state of Utah, even though they currently are not necessarily co-located with the Great Salt Lake, at one point in time they were. They have traditional knowledge that goes back eons about the lake and about how to manage and protect the lake. And so one of the things that I like to explore is how can we help find solutions to the challenge of the Great Salt Lake, and maybe we can do that through shared stewardship between tribes and the state, or even perhaps a 638 contract between tribes and the federal government. Obviously, the state of Utah has huge interest in protecting the lake, as does the federal government, and as do tribes. And so bringing all three sovereigns together to the table, I think, will give us a more robust and comprehensive solution to the problem that is posed by the drought affecting the Great Salt Lake. Currently, we're facing numerous environmental challenges where a single jurisdiction and a single sovereign is just not going to be able to fully come up with a comprehensive solution by itself. My hope is that by thinking about how we can better incorporate tribes through shared stewardship or through 638 contracts, we can hopefully come to a better and more comprehensive solution to these major environmental challenges that are threatening not just the state of Utah, but the entire country and certainly the entire world. For example, within the Biden administration, the OMB has come out with a guidance memorandum that indicates that tribal traditional knowledge can be incredibly helpful in solving some of these environmental challenges, and in fact can rise to the level of best available scientific evidence. And so that is certainly noteworthy for me in my research, because it demonstrates how one sovereign, the federal government, has acknowledged the capacity and knowledge that tribes do have and that they maintain. So I'm very interested in how these other sovereigns and localities are looking at these problems and whether or not they're bringing tribes to the table in the hopes of finding the best possible environmental solutions.